Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. So today is going to start what we're going to call leftover ham week, even though it's not leftover, but it's so that you can get ideas of what to do when you have that leftover ham from Christmas. So what we're going to make today is going to take quite a bit of prep. So I thought I'd bring you along with what I need to prep up. The first thing is carrots. Jack actually, last time he went to the food bank, they gave him what we in Michigan would call deer carrots. Which they're fine. They just are mangled and different, look at, they're mangled up. So what I want to do is, even though we only need 1.5 cups or 2 cups, I don't remember what it is, 1.5 cups of carrots, I'm going to do all of them, and then I'm going to dehydrate what's left. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I got my little 13 cup here, and we're going to chop them up. Round as you like them because some of them are really big. Alright, so I'm going to finish chopping all those up and I'm going to put in a bowl and then I'll be back with what we're doing next. Hi Jack.
Hello.
So I took 3 cups of chopped up carrots out and they're in a bowl. This is what's left. So Jack's going to fill up all of the dehydrator trays while I cut up some potatoes. Now, it's going to be a couple hours before we start dinner, so I've got a bowl of water here. And I'm going to cut them into not real tiny chunks, but not big ones either. We're going to just keep them in that water, because otherwise your potatoes will turn black, and you don't want that. Any meal you make with black potatoes wouldn't be too pretty, would they?
Nope.
So once we finish dehydrating those carrots, then we have them for the next time we make something like this. So we don't let them go to waste. You can probably fit a little bit more on there. Just spread them out a little bit. So we're going to get all of these potatoes done up. I've got 6 medium potatoes. I haven't got much left. You can just stack them on. Yeah, I was going to say you can just stack them on each other. There isn't much left out of that 50 pounds, is there, Jack?
Nope.
I'll tell you what, that potato week about killed my potatoes. I got 1 small container left of them. And there's no big ones in there, so we just deal with what we got. So I'm going to get these potatoes all cut up. And then I'll bring you back and show you what I'm going to cut up next. Alright, so Jack is loading up the dehydrator now as we speak. Now the next thing we need to chop up is an onion. So once again, we don't want huge pieces, but we don't want little dinky ones either. I'm chopping us each up an onion. And it calls for celery too, which I have a bunch that I chopped up before. And I'm going to have Jack shake them out, take out what we need, and then he can put them back in the freezer. Any of that stuff, I was just talking to my friend the other day. Onions, celery, peppers, things like that. By all means, if you have a bunch and you don't want them to go to waste, put them in the freezer. You don't have to do anything special with them. Just freeze them up. That's all you got to do. And then you don't lose that produce that you think is going bad. Because nobody wants produce to go bad. Especially now with the price of everything. Alright, so let me finish chopping up this onions. And then I'll be back and show you what we're doing next. Alright, so the next thing we need is 3 cups of chopped up ham each. I told Jack I think we could almost share this soup, but we're going to freeze up whatever we don't use or use for lunches or whatever. At this rate, we'll have to get that second ham out that we bought. So I'm going to chop these all in slices first. Alright, I'm going to put my measuring cup over here so I can throw in as I go along. We're going to chop it this way small. It also calls for a ham bone, which I don't have, and so it won't be using a ham bone. We're going to chop these into chunks. Once again, we don't want real small pieces, but we don't want real big ones either. That's almost 2 cups. So that's the next thing that we're doing, and then I'll be back. Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead.
And Jack. And thank you, Kendra, for the Christmas card.
So anyways, today is officially day 1 of leftover ham week. And like I said while we're doing the prep, it's not leftover ham, but we're going to try to show you things that you can do with your ham after Christmas if you have it. So thanks for giving that suggestion. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm not going to go along with the way that they do it. I'm sorry, but I'm just not. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of my pan. And I'm going to put all those onions in there. Because I don't want just boiled onions. That just sounds gross to me. And then I'm going to put the celery in there. And I'm going to let that stuff brown up just a little bit before I add everything else in it. So we're going to get those a little bit translucent, and then we'll be right back. Alright, I've decided also I want to add my ham to that, so that can get a little bit cooked up as well. Now this is going to be a big soup, and we talked to the about the one lady that said about making extras and whatever. This is supposed to feed 16 people. So what we're going to do is I'm going to store whatever we don't use in storage containers, and they'll go in the freezer so that we can have them some other time. So I have the oven preheated at 350. I'm going to make some Bisquick biscuits to go with our soup. Now normally I wouldn't use Bisquick, but it's going to be used for something that I'm making in a couple days here. So we need 2 cups of that, and we need a half a cup of milk. I couldn't read it. Can you stir mine as well? And we need a tablespoon of vegetable oil. And then we're going to stir that together. Alrighty. And I'm not going to roll this dough out. I'm just going to have drop biscuits. Because it's basically going to be something just to dunk our soup with. Alrighty. I gotta move this stuff again. Alright, let's add our carrots now. Oh shoot, half those were yours, weren't they?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
And I wish I didn't have no carrots over there.
I think that's about half, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I messed up. So we're just going to take biscuits and put them on the tray here. One batch doesn't make very much. But that's okay. Alright, so we're going to throw these in the oven for 11 to 13 minutes. Let me get in there for a minute. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to let that brown just a little bit and then we'll be right back. Alright, so now the onions are translucent. We're going to add, each of us are going to use half of these potatoes. Get that bowl out of the way. And then you're going to use 8 cups of chicken or turkey broth. And actually, I didn't have enough, so I'm going to use 1 turkey and 2 chicken. I should have told you guys what we're making. We're making 1 pot ham and bean soup with potatoes. This was Jack's idea. This says serve 16. This serves a lot of people. Now I'm using my own home canned beans. So I'm going to, when the potatoes start to get a little tender, then I'm going to add my beans, which they're already, Jack just rinsed them out. And because Tom actually brought a 3/4 pint up here, we're going to have, or 3/4 quart, we're going to have a little bit. It says on the recipe 2 15-ounce, 2 14-ounce. So we're going to have a little more beans than what they call for. But that's okay. So I'm going to get that stirred up. And I'm going to add, it says to add a half teaspoon of garlic powder. And then it says to use pepper. You can do whatever you want, but I'm not adding salt because the broth has salt in it and so does the ham. So I don't feel that it needs any salt. It doesn't say to add any either, but I'm not going to add any into mine. This is going to be great. I can just imagine. Alright, let's bring you down here. That look beautiful. So we're going to get this cooked to about halfway with the potatoes, and then we're going to come back and add those beans. We'll be right back. Alright, so now the potatoes are halfway done, so we're going to add those beans into it. And get those beans stirred right into it. I'll tell you guys, I don't like beans. White beans anyway. It's not my thing. But honestly, my canned beans, I love them. They're really, really good. Because I don't have salt and a bunch of other stuff in them. I just do beans and water when I can them. That's it. Let me show you again. How's that looking? Beautiful. Alright, so we're going to let this simmer for a bit. And then we'll be back and Jack can give it a taste test. Alright, so the soup is done. We're both going to give it a taste test. And that way you can see if you need to add anything else to it as well. But it's piping hot. That broth tastes good. Mmm.
I like to put it in my mouth.
This tastes nice on a nice chilly day too.
That's pretty good.
So there we go. It is our 1-pot ham bean with potato soup. And Tom will be home shortly and we'll let him do a taste test. And then I'm going to store whatever I have left over so that we can put it in the freezer.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Now you can put bye on there.
Bye.
Alright, I'll be back in a little bit. Well, hi Tom, how are you?
I'm just dandy.
So this is our first day of leftover ham recipes. So this is potato, bean, and ham soup,
Like bean soup
but with potatoes.
with potatoes.
Does it have a lot more flavor than a soup that we had given to us?
Yeah. Not more flavor.
What do you think? I'll try some biscuit dipped in it. I got one already made up for you for dinner tomorrow. And whatever we got left, we'll put in a big container. So we'll have some for a lunch sometime. We'll put it in the freezer. What do you think?
Biscuits are good.
They're just Bisquick biscuits, but that's okay. So what do you think of dinner?
Yummy.
Good soup? Awesome. By the way, next week, guys, is soup week. So I did take a couple of, suggestions, and we're going to do soup week. It is getting colder, so soup sounds good, don't it, to you?
Mm-hmm.
He's too busy eating this one. All right, you guys, I hope you like the ham week coming up. Have a blessed night, be a blessing, and bye, Tom.
Bye, Tom.